Feeling chained to your social media feeds? Well, discover 10 life-changing tricks to break free and boost your productivity in today's episode. Hi, I'm Mark, and this is the Mr. Productivity Podcast, the show that is dedicated to empowering you to conquer distractions, prioritize effectively, and gain daily clarity. Now, before we begin, I have a very important question to ask you, and I hope your answer is a resounding yes. Would you like some free training from yours truly, Mr. Productivity? Well, I'm assuming you answered yes. I can't hear you because that's not how podcasting works. Then hop on over to my website, MrProductivity.com, M-I-S-T-E-R, MrProductivity.com. Just enter your email address at the top of the page and click on grab the free training. It's my gift to you, MrProductivity.com. Okay, let's get started and dive deep into a challenge that touches nearly everyone in the 21st century, the magnetic pull of social media. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the endless, and might I add, mindless scrolling, losing precious hours that could be spent on your goals and passions. But fear not. I am here to arm you on this podcast with 10 powerful strategies to reclaim your time and attention from the grasp of social media. Now, whether you're seeking to enhance your focus, boost your productivity, or simply find more peace in your day-to-day life, these tips are your first step toward a more balanced digital life. But first, let me give you some information. Let me give you a statistic that is going to blow your mind. The average person, the latest data says the average person spends 2 hours and 24 minutes on social media every day. Now, I took that and I exploded it out to put it into a bigger context for you. That works out to 1,095 hours a year, or just over 6.5 weeks. A month and a half just on social media. And we're not talking about using social media to build your business or your brand or promote your cause. We're talking about the mindless and endless scrolling of social media. I want you to think about that. 6.5 weeks. What could you do in 6.5 weeks that will turn your life, your career path, your way of living around? That is stunning. And I believe that that number of the average of 2 hours and 24 minutes on social media, I think that's low. But that's the latest data we have. So let's jump into the strategies. Number one, and by the way, these are not in any particular order. So 9 is not less important than 1 or vice versa. Number one, disable notifications. Now, I don't know how many social media apps you have installed, but do you have notifications turned on for them? I know people who have every single notification for every single app installed on their phone enabled, but we're specifically talking about notifications for social media. Here's the thing about the social media notifications. If you turn them all off, when you get into the app, they're all going to be there. So you're not missing anything. It's not like if you disable the Facebook notifications on your phone that you won't get the notifications when you open the app. So I encourage you to go scorched earth on this and disable all social media notifications. Even try it for 30 days and see what happens. Number two, do a notification cleanse. This is something I've been advocating for many years. It's really simple. Go through every device you own, every app on every device you own, and ask yourself, is this notification serving me or is it a distraction? So, for example, I like having my weather apps enabled, my credit and debit card enabled, Amazon, because I get deliveries all the time from Amazon. Those notifications serve me. But social media is turned off. Now, I can't tell you what notifications to have on and what to have off, but I encourage you to do a notification cleanse and then put a reminder on your to-do list that maybe the first Saturday or the first Sunday of every month, you go through and do it again to catch any apps that have gone through the cracks, because we want to get you off of social media as much as we can. I know social media is a big part of our lives, and it's not going to go away, although some people, like the best-selling author Cal Newport, who wrote Deep Work and Slow Productivity and Digital Minimalism, is not on social media at all, so it can be done, but I know for most of us, it's a fact of life. Tip number 3, delete the apps that you're no longer using. Recently, I decided to delete all the social media apps off my phone because I realized that I could, catch this out, I could look at the social media stuff 2 other places. I could go to my desktop, or I can open up a browser on my phone and look at the apps if I really wanted to. Now, right, you don't have all the functionality when you do this. You can't go live and stuff like that. But if you want to go live on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, you can download the app, log in, go live, and then delete it again. So I want you to consider deleting the social media apps off your phone. Now, if you're a business or a brand and you're like, wait a minute, how am I supposed to post? Well, there's companies like Buffer and Hootsuite and a whole bunch of other apps that you can actually create content, schedule it, and they'll post it for you. So take a look at your apps, your social media apps, and think about, which of these do I not spend any time on? And I will encourage you to do the 30-day challenge. Delete all your social media apps from your phone. I'm not saying delete your accounts. I'm saying delete the apps from your phone. So when you're in line at the supermarket or the bank or wherever, and you're bored, you pick up your phone. Oh, there's no social media apps on there. What do? I don't know. Here's an idea. Maybe get the Kindle app, buy some books, so when you're bored, instead of scrolling social media, you're reading a book. Just an idea. Number 4, intentionally schedule time for social media. So just don't, I'm bored, I'm going to be on social media. Don't do that. But say, okay, I'm going to allow myself 45 minutes in the morning, maybe 30 minutes at lunch, maybe an hour after dinner. And that's it. If it's not one of these predetermined times, I won't be on social media. There's a lot of other things you can do other than scroll on social media. I saw an interview recently with Dr. Phil, and he said that when the phones became prevalent in our society, it was almost like one day we had these bombers fly over America and drop cell phones to everybody. And at that point, we went from living in the present moment to living through our phones. And I encourage you to intentionally schedule time for social media and begin experiencing life. Go for a walk without your technology. Have conversations eyeball to eyeball with people. Number 5, pick 1 or 2 platforms to be active on. So you have LinkedIn and you have X. You have Facebook, you have Threads, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have YouTube, you have Snapchat, and any other ones that come out in the future. But do you have to be on all of them? Probably not. But I'm building our business. Okay, so you're building your business. Good for you. I'm cheering you on. But where are your customers? Maybe your customers are on LinkedIn and X. Well, then focus your energy on there. Maybe you like to dabble on TikTok because you like the way the videos are presented. Well, then go on that one. But no one says you have to be on all social media platforms. So whether it's personal or for business, step back and go, okay, what are 2 platforms or maybe just 1 platform that I'm going to choose to be active on? And if you take that and apply it to the other things I'm giving you on the show, it's really going to help you reduce your time on social media. Number 6, clean up your feeds by unfollowing or muting people. So no matter what social media platform you're on, if you go there and you find that the people are not uplifting you, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel stressed, if you feel depressed, then don't follow them anymore. Now, depending on what platform, you can unfollow them, you can mute them, you can disconnect with them if for LinkedIn. but don't follow people that are not making you feel good. I encourage you to follow people that are cheering you on, that are giving you information, that are making you feel good. Number 7, place your device in airplane mode or mute it. So if you want to focus on a task, writing your book, you want to read a long article, you want to do some research, and you're on your desktop, maybe not have your phone there with all the notifications on. So as you're trying to do your work, you keep getting all the notifications and it distracts you. So maybe put your phone in airplane mode or even mute it, put it face down. If you're going to mute it, I encourage you also to disable vibration mode, because if you mute it, some phones, and you put it face down and it gets a notification, it's going to vibrate, which is also a distraction. Number 8, lock your device in a drawer or an office. Or if you're doing this at work, maybe you give it to a secretary or a coworker. Tell them, hey, I want to be focused for the next 30 minutes, next 2 hours. Here's my phone. I don't care what I tell you. If I beg, if I'm crying, if I'm throwing a temper tantrum, don't give me my phone back. Maybe you have to do something because you're so addicted to TikTok. You're so addicted to Instagram. You're so addicted to X that you got to have your phone, and it's going to be detrimental to you. Then enroll in somebody to hold your phone, or lock it in your drawer in your office, but then give someone else the key. So you just can't, it's going to defeat the purpose if you lock it in your drawer and then you get the urge to check TikTok and then you just unlock your own desk drawer. So we need to take it another step and get someone else involved. Number 9, hide the social media apps on a screen far, far from your home screen. Now, this is kind of a lame, in my opinion, a lame strategy, because if you want to go on TikTok, I know on my iPhone, all I have to do is tell who to launch the TikTok app, which is not on my phone, but I'm trying to illustrate something for you. So maybe if you're not going to delete them from your phone, maybe you put them in another folder, but don't call them the folder social media. Maybe you call the folder danger or something like that. Because if it's not as soon as you open your phone and you have the notifications disabled, maybe you'll think twice. It's just a little barrier between you and wasting time on social media. Number 10, get an accountability partner. It's so easy to do this via iMessage or WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Signal, Telegram. Pick your IM of choice so they don't have to be in your area. Just say, hey, let's hold each other accountable. Let's share each other's screen time and say, we are not going to be on social media more than this many minutes a day. Hopefully it's not hours. Hopefully it's minutes. And then throughout the day, say, okay, I'm going on social media for 30 minutes. I'll let you know when I'm done. Get an accountability partner. It's better to do this with someone else than trying to do it yourself. And a bonus tip I have for you is use something similar to Apple's Focus Time or some other app that can block access to certain apps during certain times. There's Rescue Time. Rescue Time is one of the biggest ones for the computer, but they're not the only one. So maybe you need to have an app that you can go in there and say, okay, I don't want to have any access to social media between this time and this time except during lunch. So if you accidentally, in air quotes here, accidentally feel that urge to say, I'm going to go check TikTok, and you open up your phone and you tap the TikTok app. Why is this loading? Oh, that's right. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to set that up so you're not spending so much time on social media. Again, social media is a blessing and a curse. But for so many people, they get lost in the mindless and endless scrolling on all these apps. The algorithms are getting better and better with each passing day. And if you want to distract yourself, that's the wrong word. If you want to extract yourself, that's the word I was looking for. If you want to extract yourself from social media, then you have to be the person to do the extraction. You cannot rely on them being the social media platforms to do it for you, to help you. It's your responsibility, especially if you're an adult, and that's who this podcast is centered around. So I really hope this episode served you today. I would like to ask you a question. Now that I have equipped you with 11 ideas on how you can deal with social media, what are you going to do with this information? That is your homework from this episode of the Mr. Productivity Podcast. What are you going to do? I don't want you just to listen and go, yeah, those are some great ideas. What are you going to do to rein in your use of social media? And I encourage you to share this episode with your friends. Maybe you have a friend or 2 or 10 who is addicted to social media. Well, just send this episode to them and say, hey, found this new episode. I think it would serve you well, and let the chips fall where they lie. So thank you so much for listening to the episode today. If you haven't done so already, please follow the show on whatever podcast player you're listening to this episode on, because that will tell that podcast player to serve this episode and my podcast to other people just like you, so I can also help them. Don't forget, if you want some free training or to find out anything about me, just hop on over to my website, MrProductivity.com, MISTER, MrProductivity.com. Thank you so much again for your time and attention. I do not take it for granted. And until we're back with a brand new episode for you, remember, stay productive and stay positive.